Hello, my name's Fred McNeil, and you're watching QAC TV. Thank you for being with us. We have a great show. It's called Commissioner's Corner. And what we do, different commissioners come on a regular basis and talk about current topics they're discussing and voting on, but they're doing what they promised they'd do during the election. And they said they want to keep the citizens informed. I'm delighted to have Jim Moran with me. Commissioner Moran, thank you for being here today.
Thank you for inviting me.
A belated happy St. Patrick's Day. I think it was snowing that day or the week before. And Jim, you were kind enough, you started this whole thing off. You were the first commissioner to come on, and now you're the president of the commissioners. And I do want to compliment you, and I want to say this in the very beginning of the show. I hear more people in the public saying the meetings are well organized, they're run well, and there seems to be a sense of professionalism or good government about them. So I think you all, five of you, and you in particular, should be complimented for that.
Thank you very much. I think that we, as a group, we are committed to working together and keeping some of the antics at a low murmur.
And I think that's important because I think the public expects that, and you guys are doing it. Congratulations. That's real good.
Thank you.
Now, let's talk about it. We'll probably be here 10 hours talking about topics, but you've picked a couple. There's something, the trash day on April 20th. You want to tell me about that?
April 22nd. Yeah.
22nd.
What we are having is a county-wide, and as anybody's driven, it's been a long winter.
Sure.
There's been snow down, and now that the snow's melting, anywhere you drive, you look in the ditches, you look on the sides of the roads, you look out into the fields and the trees, there's trash everywhere.
Sure.
And it's a shame. It breaks my heart. And it, for our county, it doesn't reflect well upon us as the gateway to the Eastern Shore and what we're trying to do here with economic development and everything else. If you pull down a road and you see nothing but trash. So I've asked the county to get involved with this, and we are sending out a flyer. We are in the process now of finalizing it, but it's going to be Wednesday, April 22nd, which is Earth Day. And if it rains, it's going to be the 23rd. Right. We are asking State Highway for help. I mean, for the state roads. We are turning to all of the nonprofits. This morning I was at the Kent Narrows Development Foundation with all those businesses to get them involved. The chamber's getting involved. Tomorrow at the Economic Development Commission, those flyers will be handed out. So it's county-wide, and we are partnering up with Infinity Recycling in Millington. So we're going to have, the county's going to be handing out garbage bags, vests, and gloves. We'll have the dark bags for just your everyday trash, and we're going to have the clear bags. Hopefully what we're trying to do is put the glass and plastic in there so that Millington Recycling can separate it and take care of that. Okay, and what we're doing is the northern part of the county is going to be, depending on the size of the groups, depending on what roads they're going to be cleaning, because what we have are two phone numbers, and maybe I should give that out first.
Give them out.
The Queen Anne's County Community Affairs, 410-758-4418 is a number you can call and say, I'd like to get involved, and here's the road I'd like to clean.
Okay, now these are individuals or groups? Or
individuals or groups, that's correct. So, the more the merrier. The roads department's also doing the same thing, that you can call them at 410-758-0920.
Okay, and that'll be on the screen.
That'll be on the screen. Okay, and what that does is those two numbers will allow you to call them and say, I want to be there either on Wednesday, or, let me back up a little bit, if let's say you're the Boy Scouts, Cub Scouts, Girl Scouts, school groups, kids. This is on a Wednesday. The trash pickup is going to be scheduled on Wednesday the 22nd from 8 to 1. Okay. That'll give our roads crew time enough to come behind us and collect the trash. Okay. For all of our kids that are in school and they can't do that in those organizations, we're offering to them, if they wouldn't mind, the Saturday or Sunday before, the weekend before.
So you work with people to get this to work.
Absolutely. So that if they got manpower, we want to accommodate and take advantage of that manpower, because a lot of people see the trash and go, boy, I wish the county would clean this up. Well, we don't have a line item in our budget, and we don't want a line item in our budget to pick up trash.
For spring cleaning, right?
Right.
It's
because
a tough one.
the bottom line is we don't want the trash there in the first place. Sure. And I think if we get enough citizens involved with picking up the trash and bring it to the forefront of their conscience, that maybe we can curb this in the future. One of the things that we're going to be doing, though, is the day of the event.
It's the 22nd or the 23rd of April if it's a rain day. Yeah.
We're going to be bringing all the trash in the northern part of the county to the Centerville transfer station, and we're going to pile it all up, and we're going to take pictures. We want to show people how
much is out there.
Absolutely. Now, Kent Island, Graysonville, Chester, we're taking it all to the crab deck. Jody
Okay.
Schultz was kind enough. They're not open yet.
Actually, taking it to the crowd.
Taking it to the crab deck, we're going to have roll-off dumpsters set there, and we're going to pile it all up in there to see the amount of trash that we're collecting.
Okay.
And I personally, my company, my business that I own, I'm going to have 8 employees here, and we've already picked our road, and we're going to clean up an entire roadway ourselves. So don't
It's a great idea.
don't come up with the idea if you're not going to put skin in the game.
Well, I like
I'm a firm believer of that. So that's some of the things that are going on there, and hopefully the state highway will kick in too to clean up their portion. So we're hoping for good weather. We're hoping for as many people as we can get, nonprofits, whatever they need. Call the numbers and we'll accommodate.
So let's just go over everything again. We're talking about county trash pickup day.
Earth Day.
Individuals or groups can get involved. We'll
That's
share
right.
those phone numbers again. The original date, or the day we're hoping for, is Earth Day, April 22nd.
Correct, Wednesday.
If it's a rain day, we go the next day, the 23rd.
That's correct.
Okay. But if groups, because of school or other things, want to call and work out other dates, perhaps a Saturday, that can perhaps can be worked out.
Yeah, we're just asking them to do it if they can do it the Saturday before, so we can get it collected and added to this.
All right.
I mean, I think that when the public sees how many roll-offs that we're able to fill up,
They're going to be shocked. Right?
they're going to be shocked.
I want to
They
just see
really are.
Jody Schultz's face
Right.
when he sees all that.
Well, I already promised him that if we put it there, the dumpsters will be there, but the dumps will be gone that
We'll
night.
get it out,
Because
okay.
I don't want to take advantage of somebody that's offering to help us out.
Oh, I think it's a great
yeah.
idea. Jim, now before we move on to another topic, how about do those numbers again, the phone numbers?
The 2 numbers you
Yes,
can call to volunteer and say what roads you want to you're willing to help us with is Community Affairs, which is Faith Elliott Rosing. She's heading this project up for me. 410-758-4418. And then the Queen Anne's County Roads Department is 410-758-0920.
Okay, and they'll give you whatever information you need.
Information,
to
tell
help
you where you can pick up your gloves, your trash bags, your vest. We want everyone to be safe
Be
out
safe
there.
on the
We want
roads.
to be
Okay.
safe.
That's a great idea. Okay, I think the TV crew is going to be out there. right? We
Absolutely.
should
I
be
hope so
having
because it just breaks my heart to drive. Sundays my wife and I like to go out for a ride, and you see the trash everywhere, and it's just, it bothers me. I got to wait till April 22nd. We're almost a month away, but hopefully we can.
And let's hope for a nice sunny
Absolutely,
70-degree
yeah.
day. All right.
We want to get that done before the mowing starts, because then we mulch it all up, and it's just a nightmare.
It makes sense. I think that's a great idea. Okay, and
Great.
we'll do a public service announcement on that
Great.
too to get it out.
Thank you.
Now let's move on to another topic. Ken Island Sewer.
Okay.
Always in the news. People always talking about it. How about a little update? What's going on?
Well, we are in the process now for the engineering. The commissioners voted to spend about $1 million to do, there's 3 separate engineering contracts. And the one that we're focusing the most on is right now is the Roman Coke, Ken Island Estates. It's all the way at the end. It is probably the most difficult one to do because they're smaller lots, closer together. So what we need to do is we need to have our engineers, the contracts that we let, go onto the property. They have to survey it. Where's this tree? Where's that tree? Where's the house? Where's the existing tank? Where's the utilities? So we know what we have to do in order to put in a new tank and
That's
the
preliminary
piping
step to get going, right?
The preliminary step to get going. But what that will tell us is the hard number.
Okay.
For years we have been telling homeowners no more than $100 a month, and these commissioners are committed to no more than $100 a month. Well, by doing this engineering, it gives us a better understanding of the hurdles we have,
What the real costs are
and what the
gonna be,
real costs are
time
going to
and
be.
everything.
So what we're asking the public to do, especially Ken Island Estates and Roman Coke, is to come out to these meetings. We've had 3, and they've been very busy.
I saw you some of them. I think you had on Facebook.
Yes,
Look
I
at a
did.
Very big
yeah.
crowd.
Oh,
Look at a
it
great
was
crowd.
last Saturday at Ken Island Estates. It was nonstop.
Good,
I mean,
good.
our planning and zoning director Steve Cahoon took him almost 4 hours to get a break to run over and get a bottle of water. So he was parched. But I mean, the staff is doing a great job, and I sit at the door. I've been to all 3 of
You're
them.
greeting everybody. as they come
I'm
in.
coming in because if they got a question for a commissioner, there's a commissioner there. And as everybody knows, I am for this project wholeheartedly on a number of levels. I mean, there's the health issue, and to me, there's the environment issue. And I think that this is long overdue. And I understand that, some of the concerns and some of the major concerns that we hear is the financing. Some people can't afford it, and we have Jonathan Seaman there, our financial guy, to answer those questions. There is programs in place to help with the funding.
Okay.
So we just like to see everyone out there, and there's 2 more dates right now, which the first one will be this Wednesday at the Ken Island Estates. I don't know what you call that building down there next to the firehouse.
Okay.
That is from 4 till 8 p.m. this coming Wednesday.
Public invited.
Anybody, Roman Coke or Kent Island States can come at that time there. And then Saturday from 1 till 4 o'clock, it's at Roman Coke Estates. Their again, the clubhouse, that's what it is, their clubhouse will be there, and anybody can come to either one of those. And they'll be able to get any question they can humanly think of answered.
So you greet them at the door,
Yep.
then we have department heads helping
That's right.
you with money, what's going to happen this
Showing
preliminary
showing what the system is, how the system goes in. And it's important to the homeowners from my standpoint, because let's say you have a house down there and the tank is in the backyard, or you want the tank in the backyard, or it has to go in the backyard. Well, it has to go in the backyard, but you can, if you have plans for your home and you want an addition or something else, and you want to move that tank, the county says, okay, well, we're going to just put it right here because we don't know what you want to do.
Sure.
And you say, I want to do this. Well, the county will move it. They'll accommodate you. They will work with you. We are not here to be an obstacle. We are here to be an improvement. Right, an improvement on this. So we're gathering that. The more numbers we have, the more people that allow us to do this, because that's really what this is about. We need your permission to go onto your property.
Right.
So we need, your easement. You need to sign off, so we're allowed to have the engineers come onto your property so that we can do this. And that's what we need. And the more of those we have, the more we get done, the tighter the number is. If we have to extrapolate, if we only get 150 people from those two developments, then we have to extrapolate that number over the entire development.
It's going to make your job harder.
Yeah. Well, just we're committed to the 100,
sure.
And it's not going above the 100. And this is our way of confirming it. This is our way of moving forward with this with the engineering portion of this.
Go ahead, please.
Well, I know there's a lot of people that don't want the sewer. This was a highly contested issue, and I appreciate that. But I don't want it to be because they can't afford it. I want the programs that we have in place to help those that can't afford it.
If there's financial.
People say that, and again, I don't want to stir up old feelings, but people say, well, we don't need it. Well, in the last week, 2 separate people have come up to me and had their tanks pumped. 1,000-gallon tanks.
It costs a couple dollars.
They pumped out 2,800 gallons out of a 1,000-gallon tank. It just, the water infiltration for their drain fields in the wintertime, the high table watermarks are what is, so you can't, to me, that is even more of an issue.
Okay.
Because that you've got gray water mixing in with your groundwater, and it's going somewhere.
And it's not going to a good spot.
That's right. So, and there's people down there that are on holding tanks, people down there that might have to go on holding tanks. And that is a great concern, because you talk about a financial trap. If you pump your tank in the wet season, for instance, if you have a house down, you have to pump your tank 3 times in a year, you've already paid more than you would pay on the step system.
It makes no sense.
Right.
It makes no sense.
And not to mention you're inhibited from additions, adding bathrooms, your improvements to your yard. So, I mean, again, I understand their concerns, but I think this is long overdue, and I'm hoping that we move forward with this.
And you've asked us, Channel 7 went down and we filmed what the preliminary steps are, and I can assure the public, I know you know this, the steps are just 2 simple forms to fill out.
That's correct.
Very simple.
Right.
And then someone, with your permission, will come on your property and basically just decide, hey, I'm going to chart out where the well is, where the septic tank is, where the electric box. This all takes 5 or 10 minutes, and they don't even have to be there.
Right. And the engineers are out there. So you can ask that engineer exactly what he's going to do on your property. Yeah. You can actually say, I want you to come, but I want you to come at this time.
Sure.
And so I can be home, and they will accommodate
They'll meet you, and it's a very simple, clean process.
Everybody that's left there, some people that don't want the sewer still come up, and they respect how this is going. So, I mean, it's been very positive.
Good.
Very positive.
And
very
I
pleased.
think you guys have done a great job communicating with the public what's to happen and made it about as simple as you can. It looks
and I give all that goes to the county employees.
Good.
Todd Mon, Alan Quimby, Steve Cahoon, Jonathan Seaman. I mean, I know Dave McGlash, and everybody's there. And the engineering firms that we hired, they're all doing a great job. I mean, they are putting in the time and the effort to make sure that they answer all the citizens' questions.
This will probably go very smoothly. Okay, which is good. Jim, good. Okay. Hey, look, that's the WHIP project.
Okay.
Tell me that a lot of people talking about. What are we talking about, and what the issue
WHIP is the Water Implementation Plan, which every county in the state of Maryland is required by the federal government and the state to lower their pollutants running. Your phosphorus, your nitrogen, your sediments running off into our waterways.
bit.
And we have numbers that we are supposed to be reaching. In 2017 is when I think the benchmarks, the preliminaries are, they're going to come out and say, okay, where are you? Here's where you're supposed to be. Where are you? Are you heading in the right direction?
Right.
A lot of places, a lot of counties don't doing anything with their WIP. Now we do when new projects come along in certain special projects, the WIP portion of it we try to build into it. The county does during planning and zoning. But what I am involved in, and what I was involved in with the last set of commissioners, is we voted to put $2 million towards WIP. Now, with that being said, that's $2 million that we have matching grants of anywhere from 4 to 1.
Good, okay.
So that $2 million could turn into $10 million.
So is it federal and state matching?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Well, you know, there's money to be had, and nobody's taking advantage of that because nobody's putting money into it. So I am, you know, the last set of commissioners voted for it. This set of commissioners decided we're going to put it on hold until the budget cycle. So, you know, I'm hoping that these set of commissioners will see the value in what we're planning on doing is putting what I'm going to ask for is $1 million in the 16 budget and $1 million in the 17 budget. That $1 million in the 16 budget will actually, with the grants, be $4 or $5 million.
Okay, with the federal and state.
That's right.
Grants.
So I mean, I'm going to take that deal anytime.
That's a nice return.
Anytime I can get 80% and 20% or even 75, 25, I'm going to take it. And it's going to help us tremendously get to where we need to be with our WIP program. Okay. So, I mean, and I'm for the environment.
And this is something we have to do anyway by 2020.
And this also ties back into this Southern Kent Island sewer. You got to remember, you know, God willing that gets done, that will reduce our nitrogen portion of our WIP and our TMDLs by over 40%. You know, I think it's about 45%, and that's going to save us about $40 million that we would have to put into WIP programs. So, I mean, all these things tie together to move Queen Anne's County forward and be a leader in the state. And I'm kind of, you know, I think that that's a good place to be.
I always thought it was good, excuse me for interrupting, but you talked about in the campaign, let's make this the best county we can. So that we can spend and invest $1 million bucks and get $4 million back. That's not a bad deal.
And get $4 million back, and that, it might take us over a year, maybe longer, to do that. So the first $1 million, you know, God willing, that we'll be able to agree to. The second, which will be voted on the following year, maybe we don't need that, or maybe we only need 500 because we're spending that other money. You know, we don't want it just sitting there. So, you know, that's where I'm hoping to go with the WIP.
Good.
I mean, you know, we're trying to identify some projects right now to use it on.
Sounds like for citizens a good investment.
Absolutely. I mean, we have to do it, so we might as well start when we can spend the state's money and the federal money versus our own tax dollars.
Okay. Jim, one of the greatest topics among parents and sports fans, the ball fields. What's going on? What's our latest in that area?
Well, again, you know, the ball fields, the last set of commissioners voted 3-2 to do the 2 synthetic fields at the 2 high schools. Right. As you know, I mean, because you're involved in broadcasting those games. Sure. Queen Anne's High School had to cancel their homecoming game.
Oh, I know.
The field was terrible.
I don't know how the spring sports, I think, are done.
Well, here, and that's my leading into this. Yeah. With the exception of yesterday, which was Monday, all of our public parks for our kids' lacrosse and baseball and everything have been closed the entire month of March. There has not been one practice or one game on any county fields this entire year. So, you know, that, and believe me, I understand because of the weather, but my point is, had we had those 2 synthetic fields at those high schools, we would have been able to work out some sort of arrangement. At least they could have played games. They could have got some sort of practice in. Without them, we don't have anything.
With lacrosse, the high school lacrosse teams have been, I've noticed them, they're practicing in the parking lots.
That's right.
The parking
lots, they're falling down.
Lacrosse.
Right, and they're getting hurt. And that's what we don't want. So, you know, I mean, again, it was voted on last one. You said this set of commissioners decided to put it on hold to the budget cycle, and I'm fine with that. Let's discuss it. Let's see where we are. Get everybody comfortable with the budget. Understand what's going on. But these are capital projects, and I'm all in favor of these 2 ball fields. And it doesn't mean, you know, I know there's talk about Davidson and adding 10 more grass fields. Right. I'm not saying one or the other. You know, that's not what I am. I'm saying, look, here's what we voted on before. Here's what I'd like to honor. And if we have something else, another project, then let's bring it up and let's discuss it. But right now, I mean, it's been proven that these synthetic fields,
they're cash cows.
Well, and you can practice on them all day long.
Sure.
And you can get your high school teams to one after the other to be practicing on it. You can use it for our rec ball. I would love to see it on Saturdays and Sundays for football in the fall. I mean, those 7-year-old little kids get on those synthetic fields,
they have fun.
they're going to
They
come
have
out of their
fun.
skin. They are just, I mean, I coach those little guys forever and a day on grass, and anytime you could take them, they thought they were in the NFL. It's a great feeling. It's a good environment, and you got to remember now when you have those fields, and this is what I try to tell the schools, if the rec teams are using those fields on Saturday and Sundays, the schools, boosters, got to have those concessions open because that's the money we use to replace those fields every 10 years. So, I mean, once it's done, it should be self-supporting, and that's the system that we're trying to set up and trying to show people.
Well, I know when I go by Broadneck High School, you've got the high schools practicing, and after 5, someone's practicing 5 to 6, 6 to 7, 7 to 8. They turn the lights on, and the cash register keeps going. But more importantly, our kids are participating in organized sports.
Absolutely, and they're on a safe environment, and I think again, this speaks for the county. We are trying to bring more sports tournaments here, and that's fine. But maybe the championship game goes into the high school, so it's not going to be done and sit empty. That's for sure.
No, they'll be well used. Staying with recreation and sports, the YMCA issues sounds like it's back on the table, or something's going. Explain to us what the talk is
We've been
about
working for the last 4 to 6 weeks. As you know, the last major point that we were at was we're going to give, I think it's a total of 15 or 14 acres. We're going to give that land to the YMCA in lieu of money. I mean, as you know, I was always in favor of let's sign a lease, 99-year lease to the Y, and give them $2 million to move this project forward because we need something in the northern part of this county for our kids because there is next to nothing up there.
Very few recreational opportunities.
That's right. So where we stood with this was, okay, the new incoming commissioners, again, said, we're not giving that money, and I understand that, I respect that, but we will give the land. And the land can be used as collateral to help them raise money. So with that being said, we had to work up a new MOU. It has taken 4 weeks basically to get that done because there's been so many things going on with economic development. Commissioners have been very busy, very busy. So we finally completed that at our last meeting, which was a closed session, and it was sent off to Mr. Gill in the YMCA, and we're waiting to hear back what their feelings are upon that. Yeah, because there were some certain timelines put in there and some other things. So, I'm sure there's going to be some negotiation going on. I'm sure they're going to want to change certain things, and we just got to, it's in their court now. Okay. So as soon as we hear back from them, we can either. You
can react to that.
That's right. We'll react to that, or
so
what.
The Y's still alive. There's some discussion.
It is in discussion.
Good. Okay. Right. I know one of your favorite topics is Wi-Fi and the idea of free Wi-Fi. Tell me about where you.
Well, it was like during the campaign. I don't want to keep going back to campaign, but our economic engines here, downtown Centerville, the Stevensville Historic District, and the Kent Narrows, and the Kent Narrows being the largest one. And I've always said, we would love to put Wi-Fi in there, and Commissioner Bucky and Commissioner Comfort are all in agreement on this. We would love to have some free Wi-Fi in there. Sure. And it's been a struggle. Okay. It's been a struggle with a one-horse town, and what I mean that is there's only Atlantic Broadband.
Right.
Last week, Commissioner Bucky and myself were at a meeting for Upshore Regional Council, and Verizon was there. And boy, do they have a lot of neat little things, but they don't offer them here.
Okay.
I mean, we're like, please, can't you come in and be competitive? Come to Queen Anne's County, but it's rooftops. I mean, if you want FiOS, you got to be in heavily dense. Sure. So they're putting up towers. They're doing a lot of what they're doing is wireless. They even told us Queen Anne's County is getting 4 more towers this year.
Okay.
And tell us where. They won't tell us where.
They won't tell us.
No, because that is all proprietary information, so they keep that close to the chest.
Sure.
But they're trying to improve their coverage here in Queen Anne's County.
The more towers, the more power, the more
coverage you get, and you would lose, not drop. But getting to that, so I broached them with the question of free Wi-Fi. When I say free, I'm meaning free to the citizens. Somebody's got to pay for it.
Sure.
So I didn't get a good answer. I didn't get an answer at all. Matter of fact, so I've now reached out to Atlantic Broadband. What's it going to take to get free Wi-Fi in these locations? And what kind of strength, what kind of coverage, and what's it going to cost? I mean, if there's a cost involved in it, we have to weigh that
Tell us, yeah.
versus the revenue it could possibly bring in through new businesses coming there. So it's another one of those things that it's everybody's working towards it. We're just hoping we can get there.
Step by step.
Step by step.
Now, Jim, that's the end of the show here. Tell us now, you're the budget cycle. Now, you're the only experienced budget person.
Well, Commissioner Comfort sat through a lot of budgets.
Okay, as the county administrator.
That's right.
Now he's on the other side.
Right. Yes.
What is kind of a sneak preview for the public? I mean, what do you see is going
Well,
on?
I mean, I think this year, the way the budget's going to be presented, naturally, our county administrator, Greg Todd, is going to hand us a balanced budget.
Okay.
And with that balanced budget, there's going to be what I always called the wish list.
Right.
All the items that all the departments are hoping to get.
What they wish they could have.
What they wish they could have. Because the pool of money that we have left over after our commitments, because we, as you remember, 2 months ago, I think it was, we voted to bring on 8 or 10 new employees in your position also.
Okay.
And there's more employees that we agreed to bring on at the fiscal year.
Right.
So those are positions that are already filled, and those are positions that are just waiting for the funds to be released. And that's going to leave us with about about $2 million. As you know, the school board's budget,
They came in about six above.
six above where we are. So, we're going to have to be frugal with what we do.
Right.
And remember now, this is operating, and a lot of people don't understand when we talk about the budget. There's the operating side.
Explain it.
Yeah, there's the operating side where that's the money that comes in every year. Okay, and then out of that operating, you have, for instance, money left over from this year. We call it PAYGO.
Right.
You got the capital fund balance. You have operating fund balance. Those capital and operating fund balances are where we would pay for things like the WIP, where we pay for ball fields, and some of the other things. The operating is used for operating. That's your salaries.
Daily
That's right.
operating costs
Your
of the
electric
county.
bills, anything that you have that comes every week. It's a repetitive bill. That's our operating. Kind of like your maintenance of effort with schools.
Right, right.
And we have to make sure that we have that fully funded.
Gotta have the operating.
That's
money.
right.
Gotta have.
And the school board is under the operating side. So with that being said, we have about $2 million extra that we're going to be able to, I don't want to call it play with, but decide where do we put that? Do we give that? Do we give a certain proportion of that to the school board? Do we bring on certain other positions in the county that are hurting right now? So we have to discuss that. We got to do what's best for the county. And that's where we sit on that. So that starts April 7th.
It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting.
Matter of fact, I think April 7th is going to be a long day. I think it's April 7th is our, I think that's a county commissioners meeting. Then we are going to do the new director for planning and zoning.
Oh, great.
We have 5 great individuals.
Good.
I mean, I'm really impressed with their. Yes,
Yeah, okay.
they've already gone through their first, so this will be the one in front of the commissioners, and it might even be on TV. And then after that is our first budget hearing.
Long day.
Yeah, it's going to be a very
Get
long
some
day.
sleep the night of the 6th.
Well, we're going to
would
break.
you
We're going to break for lunch, and I told some of the other older commissioners I have to needle them, so you might have to take a nap. But other than that,
You nudge each other. You'll be all
yes,
right.
very much so.
Well, Jim, look at our time's about up. Thank
Okay.
you very much. I do want to. Let's go back to the trash day on April 22nd.
Okay.
That sounds like a good one. How about let's remind everybody.
Okay.
It fits in the perfect environmental day. It's Earth Day.
Earth Day.
And we're encouraging groups, individuals.
Anybody that wants to help us clean our county up, clean up their street in front of their, clean up in their development, just please call the number. We'll get you the gloves, we'll get you the bags, we'll come pick the bags up.
Okay.
They just need to get it in the bags, leave it on the side of the road, and our roads crew will come by and pick it up. And that's why we need you to call in. We need to know where you are and what you're picking up, so we can send a truck by
county people
and
can pick it
collect
up.
it.
Okay.
And I just think it's a great way for the entire county to get involved in a project that will. To me, I call it a feel good.
Well,
at the end of the day, when it's all picked up, we're all going to be happy when we
It's
drive.
like cleaning your garage or cleaning
That's
your
right.
basement. You look
Right.
out your window and say, hey, that doesn't look bad at all.
Yeah, and then
Okay.
hopefully, everybody will be a little more conscious when they're driving down the road and they got trash in the back of their truck.
Let's
Dropping
keep it in
it.
the back of the
That's
truck,
right.
yes.
Don't
Right.
hold on to that cup or whatever the case may be until you get home.
Okay, well, Jim, thank you very much
No
for
problem,
joining us
Fred.
right now. We're going to
Anytime.
make this a regular thing now. all right?
Absolutely.
Okay. And again, let's end the show with congratulations to all 5 of you.
Mm-hmm.
I think the public perception is now these are 5 individuals working hard. They're going to fight their battles somewhere else, but on
Sure.
the public, we're as a team, and we're going to
Yeah.
do what's best for the county.
Absolutely. Yep.
And
Good
that-
guys.
that's great, okay?
Great.
And thank you for watching QAC TV. You've been watching Commissioner's Corner with Jim Moran, and our time is up. Thank you for your time, and we'll see you next time.